Jeffrey Lampkin.
Somebody turn the lamp on.
All right, coffee cups up, pinkies down right now. Welcome to the web version of the Jeffrey Lampkin Show. It's the nitty and gritty after the show. So you think that we're loose on air? Just imagine what we're going to be on the web. We're going to serve you all sorts of goodness because that's what we do, but it's all in fun. And I'm excited that again here on this morning, I have Mr. Tyler Ryan, who is a host on Good Day Columbia. Good morning.
Thank you for having me, Jeffrey.
I'm just glad you're here. You've been giving me all sorts of goodness this morning. That makes me happy. And who else is giving me goodness with these good gray sachet Shantae stockings over here? Is the one and only. Well, that's Ash. It's gray Ash. It's okay. Elizabeth Gunn-Reardon. Good morning.
Good morning, Jeffrey.
Columbia socialite. Just everything. How does it feel to be on air this morning?
It feels great. Thank you for having me.
It should be normal for you though, Liz, because you know you're always out and you're always at events and stuff, and people are always seeing you like, Liz. I mean, you're giving goodness all the time.
Thank
I love
you.
that.
Thanks for having me. This
Flash
is fun.
that scarf real quick. Damn, you better flash it. That makes me excited. And who else is flashing, giving me good AKA on this morning is the one and only Mr. Justin Cooper. Justin Cooper is here on this morning all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. We're glad you're here in the South this morning.
Well, Atlanta's still the South, but you know, I'm happy to be here.
Is there a big difference between, because you are originally from the cornfields of Trio, South Carolina. So how does it feel to be here in Columbia this morning?
Well, you know, I am a graduate of Benedict College, so I know Columbia very well, and it's always a pleasure when I have the opportunity to come back.
It's good to know the streets of Columbia. I know them as well.
I'm sure you do.
I love it, yes. All sorts of goodness. So listen, we were talking earlier in the show, and we were talking about the mother and the tattoo that she allowed her child.
Real quick recap. Tattoo artist, North Carolina. She decides she's going to give her 11-year-old daughter a heart tattoo on her shoulder. I don't know the size, but heart tattoo on her shoulder. North Carolina law states that you cannot be under 18 and have a tattoo in any way, shape, or form, with parental permission or not. You can, however, have body piercings, but you cannot. Now, other states are different. Other states like Virginia, if you are under 18 and mom says, go ahead, put on a tramp stamp, it's good to go. North Carolina, no, she's facing charges. Now, the question we're talking about is, where does that line fall? Is it irresponsible parenting to let your son or daughter get a tattoo?
I think it's irresponsible parenting, but on her part, it is a crime because she is an actual artist, so she's performing in the role. And I think that, you know, because she actually is hired to do that, and she did it to her own child, that's a problem. I don't care if it can be removed.
No, she needs to know. I agree. I think she needs to know the law, especially if she's in the industry. She needs to know the law. Now, did she know the law? She's claiming she didn't. Did she? You
have to know the law.
I think so.
You work in the industry, you should know the law. I mean, just my opinion.
But
do you have tattoos?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Where?
Jeffrey Lampkin.
I've never seen them before, Tyler Ryan.
Why, Jeffrey Lampkin, that's the after the show after the show.
It's the Jeffrey Lampkin After Dark.
After Dark show, clearly. Liz, do you have tattoos?
I do not.
You have no tattoos? What about you, Justin?
I don't.
No tattoos. What inspired you to get a tattoo?
Well, I'll tell you what I have. I have a Superman tattoo on this arm and a Longhorn cattle on this arm. And they were both tattoos I thought about, I wanted. They were, you know, my choice.
I know
for years
Superman
and years.
is your favorite character. Why the Longhorn cattle tattoo?
The Old West. Honor. You know, is justice. People just did the right thing because otherwise you'd get shot dead in the street.
Right.
I guess. But you know, just I guess the ways of old, just where there was honor and grace amongst men and women, and it just was a good time.
So is that like your symbol to let everybody know to come ride 'em, cowboy? I don't know. I'm serving all sorts of goodness this morning. I'm just saying. All right. So I don't know. Liz, you go ahead. Okay. I'm falling back.
But
I just think she's 11 years old. I know people who were 18, 19, 20 when they got a tattoo. Now they're my age.
Right.
A little older than that. And now they want them removed, and they wish they hadn't gotten them, or they don't like what they got, or they don't like where it is. She's 11 years old. That's too young to even make that decision. Even if the child said, Mom, please, I really want you to do this, it's way too young to make a decision like that.
The child doesn't know what she wants. She's
No.
11 years old.
I don't agree.
Can you imagine if you'd gotten a tattoo at 11, what would it have been? My Little Pony, or
one of the Smurfs, maybe. I don't
yeah,
know.
the Smurfs.
I'm not really
a
sure.
gremlin.
Probably a little pony for Jeffrey.
Rainbow Bright. I mean,
But Liz, are you
ridiculous.
fundamentally opposed to tattoos, or are you
Absolutely
simply
not.
saying if
Absolutely
you're under 18?
not. I think that people need to wait, and you know that the decision-making part of the human brain is not fully developed until you're 25.
You better give that good science knowledge.
I'm just saying.
Well, then why is the age of reason 18 then?
I don't know.
That's hogwash. It makes no
I know
sense.
it's true. It's science. I mean, look it up. But
So
I agree with you.
I think you need to go to Washington and lobby Washington, because clearly people who are between 18 and 24 are not making good choices, is what you're saying.
I'm just saying that scientifically, the decision-making part of your brain is not completely developed till then.
So what do you do?
I
at
know
11
that
years old?
I make much better decisions now than I did when I was between
Now,
18
I
and
agree.
24.
I
And I
must
agree.
co-sign. It's amazing the decisions that you will make between the ages of 20 and the ages. I guess just being in my 30s now and knowing what I used to do in 20,
Right.
it's a big difference.
Huge
Because
difference.
the Lord has changed me. I was nasty, but He was just deliver me, oh Lord. That's what He did. Okay, I'm falling back again, saying nothing.
But you're saying, Justin, what do you think? I mean, it's a small heart tattoo. It's her child, first of all. It's her kid.
Well, but I agree with Jeffrey. At 11 years old, you really don't know. You don't know much about life. So, you know, I think it was a bad decision. Number one, because she's a tattoo artist, she should know the laws in her
Right.
state. And, you know, it is her child, but at 11 years old, you really don't know.
What if the child wants to? What if it's, Mommy, I want, what's the difference between a tattoo and a new toy? Mommy, I want this toy, I want this toy, I want Nintendo, I want Nintendo, I want
Well,
Fine,
it's
get
not
Nintendo.
permanent.
What if the child said, "Mom, I want a tattoo on my face"?
Well,
You wouldn't
I would
do
think
that, right?
I wouldn't do that, no.
But like you
It's the same
said,
thing,
it's
though.
still her property. So
See, I mean,
Oh, I don't like that word property.
well,
don't
it's like
either.
it's still her property.
it's you did, because it's your responsibility to feed, bathe, care for that child. You brought the child into the
It's
world.
your
It is
responsibility.
your responsibility to
responsibility.
protect. Right.
So it's also your responsibility to make decisions on their behalf that are going to be
Right.
beneficial to them. And you understand, being when you were 11 and 20, that there's a big difference. And you may think you know what you want, but you don't know what you want. So let's talk about this. So when you speak of people, children not knowing what they want, what about the children in pageants?
You
Like
know,
Honey Boo Boo.
here, you know, it's
I mean, she has become a big icon now, you know, for the
Interesting you
moment.
say that.
Trust me, Honey Boo Boo, I hope you're watching right now, because your fame is only temporary, honey. It's only temporary, all right? I just wanted to know. I mean, it really is. How long are we going to want to see someone roll on a mattress? Really?
Well, look at
Literally?
Jersey Shore. That's been around a few seasons.
Really? So, lots of rolling on the mattress there.
This is my point.
All right. All right. But, you know, I guess my question is, what do you do, like children? Are you plan to have children one day, right?
Someday. Sure.
Okay. So when you have a little daughter, a little Emily, are you going to put her in pageants?
You need to name her Emily. I would suggest Tyler, but or
A girl
Tylee.
named Tyler. You know, I
Tylee.
do like girls with boy names. If she wants to be in a pageant, I'll let her experience it. I was in a pageant once when I was in the 6th grade. I told my mom I wanted to do it. She let me do it.
You wanted to do it.
I wanted to do it. I
Right.
told my mom I wanted to do it. I did it. It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. I didn't enjoy it. My mom said, "Hallelujah, thank the Lord." She didn't like it, so I never did one again. You know, but I have friends who were in pageants, family members who were in pageants. It's very big in the South.
Do you think that they should put on the makeup and stuff?
I mean, that's part of the pageant. That's part of the pageant deal, you know. And I just feel like, I don't know, the little tiny girls is what kind of bothers me, you know, because they aren't, like you said with the tattoo girl, like they're not making that decision. Their mother's making that decision.
And on that point, I think a lot of the mothers, we call them stage moms, they're trying to live vicariously through their kids. Like, they didn't have that opportunity, so they're playing dress up with their kids.
They weren't petite,
And
so
they're
therefore they did.
sexualizing young girls. That's the problem that I have with it sometimes, is when they sexualize these young girls, and they put on all this makeup and the fake eyelashes and the big hair and the poofy dress, and they have them parade around, and it just feels
And
wrong.
cut out them poofy dresses with all that lace and frills and thrills and stuff.
Adrenaline.
It just kills me. I don't like it.
You know, here's my thought. I've had the occasion to MC kind of in the circuit, I guess, for several years, and you know, say which one out pageants, you know, whether they're good or not for self-esteem or whatever. If you're 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 40, and you want to do a pageant, you're making that choice. That's your choice. You're right. If young Liz Gunn, young Liz Reardon wanted to go out and be a pageant girl, your mom gave you the opportunity. You kind of made the choice. If you didn't have said that, she wouldn't have forced you. This is what I see very often, though, and it bothers me with the younger families, where you've got the 0 to 6 month or 0 to 12 month category, where you bring out little Susan, and the girl can't even walk yet. So mom or dad is bringing little Susan out, holding her up. Little Susan sitting there, and as a in the program as an MC, I say, here's little 6-month-old Susan. She wants to cure cancer. No, she does not.
Exactly, Tyler.
No,
Exactly.
she does not
Bad
want to
parenting.
cure
She wants
cancer.
to feed
Bad
herself.
parenting. Thank you.
She
That's her
wants
next
a
goal in
bottle,
life.
and she wants to bat at something in her crib.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Wah,
Nothing.
wah. Like many of us want to wah at bottles.
But
nonetheless,
the other thing I see though, Jeffrey, is I'll see the parents drag them up. The kids want nothing to do with it.
They don't.
Even at 3 years old, they've gone up through and they're backstage, and anybody who's seen backstage parents, you know what, pageants, you've
Stage
seen
moms.
toddlers and tiaras get out there, and they're shoving them out there. If a kid, whether a guy or a girl, it could be a Prince pageant, the kid doesn't want to go out there. Goodness sake, don't shove him out there.
well, speaking of parenting and talking about just children, so we talked about 11-year-old, 18. So let's take Bobby Christina, who when she turns 21, did y'all hear about that story? When she turns 21, she's supposed to inherit allegedly $20 million. Now, you know what? First of all, did y'all see The View back here recently?
Yes,
when
we did.
Yes, The View. When Barbara Walters was interviewing Pat Houston, and Pat Houston said, there is no $20 million. I said, you better serve it. Pat Houston said, there's no $20 million. But I don't believe her. I think that there is $20 million somewhere. It might not be cash on hand, but when we take everything and put it in together, merchandising and stuff. However, they want to give Bobby Christina $2 million. How do you feel about that, age of 21?
Well, I think going back to The View, Barbara Walters, I believe, was on point with her questions.
Barbara Walters was rude.
No, she did what any good journalist would do. She would get to the nitty gritty, what everyone wants to know. But Bobby Christina, we all have watched the train wreck that is what it is, and you know, typically children emulate some of the things that their parents have done. She's been exposed to a lot. I think Sissy, her grandmother, her desire to ration out the funds is responsible. We're talking about children and responsibility, and I think Sissy, being seasoned, wants the best, but unfortunately they've settled. So she's going to be getting the money. I don't think it's the best decision, but you know.
How do y'all feel? You know what? I'm about to get plumb dumb right now. Let me ask this question. So of course we know that, and this is not allegedly, Bobby Christina is dating Nick. Nick is her adopted brother.
In quotations.
Right. Now adopted lover. Secret lovers. But it ain't too much of a secret. How do you feel about that? Do you consider that incest, nasty? What?
I just read somewhere that wasn't even true, that he wasn't her real actual adopted brother.
No, he wasn't.
But it was like, I guess you and I are friends for so long, so it's like, sister, you know, that type of thing.
I mean, if they can get past it, it's definitely not incestual, but it would be weird for me. It would be weird.
I think it's weird for the Houston family because this guy was around the family a lot, and now they're lovers.
It make you wonder what were they doing behind the scenes at Thanksgiving time.
Yeah.
What about
There
the
was
true
more
motivation?
stuffing than the bird. More stuffing than the bird. All right.
But what about the motivation? You got to call that into question as well.
Very true.
Was Nick riding the gravy train the whole time, and now he sees, you know,
He's cashing in.
there's $2
Taking
million coming in right
advantage
now.
of
I'm
a
going to go ahead
girl
and
in
leverage the
grieving.
relationship.
But how could he have been really riding the gravy train? Because he didn't know Whitney was going to die.
No, but being
that make sense?
associated with a family, there's money there, or you know,
Well, that's true.
presumably.
But
there
she
was
took
money
him
there.
in. Whitney took him in, you
But,
know?
but he makes a good point. It only came out that they were a couple after Whitney died. I mean, Whitney died in February.
Do you think they were a couple beforehand?
Who's to say? I mean, but the way it's playing out in the media, it looks suspect.
I'm telling you, something happened at Thanksgiving. Something happened. And it was more than the turkey that was being stuffed. Have y'all, I mean, just if you watch the show, you'll see the Houston, that's on Lifetime. You're going to have to watch that. Watch that. Listen, when we're talking TV shows, watch the Houstons because they're on. Also, Scandal. Any Scandal fans?
No, I don't watch the Scandal.
Nashville?
I watched the first
I want
episode of
to
Nashville.
watch Nashville.
Yes, Nashville. Now, that is giving you all sorts of, just juicy goodness.
Oh yeah.
It's Tammy Taylor from Friday Night Lights. I love her. What's her name in real life?
Was she also in American Horror Story?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't watch
is it
anything
her?
scary.
You don't watch scary movies?
No, absolutely
Why not? You don't curl up there with Mr.
No.
R and be, you know, all
No,
nervous.
don't do the scary. I don't do haunted houses. I love Halloween.
I love it. I love it. What else do we have to talk about? It was so much happening.
We were talking about Madonna. Now we, you know, actually on the regular aired version of Jeffrey Lampkin show, we talked about Stacey Dash and her comments supporting Mitt Romney and the heat that she took, and really what was behind that. Was it a racially motivated thing or not?
Right.
Madonna in New Orleans says, "I don't care who you vote for, as long as you vote for Barack Obama." She took a lot of heat. Now she says it in Louisiana.
She was booed in the middle of the concert, and people walked out of the concert.
Yeah. She, of course, later on spun real quick and said, wait, I don't care who you vote for, just vote. So she tried to backpedal as quickly as possible.
Don't like, that's the part that I don't like. People, when you have something that you want to say how you feel and feel how you say.
Own it.
We walk, exactly.
Right.
Own it.
We walk around and we say that this is America, and it gets on my nerves so much. I have a right to my opinion. As long as it's in a respectful manner.
Right.
When it comes off disrespectful, thus my only issue with Sarah Palin even though she did not know it, I could see how people see it as disrespectful.
Right.
But when you are respectful with what you have to say, and you say it, for example, you may say right now you don't like my color scheme, and that's on you. It's okay. You have a right to that option. That's fine. However, if I feel a certain way, then I'm going to own it.
Let me ask you this. We talked earlier about responsibility and the responsibility that a celebrity, whether or not Stacey Dash, whether legitimate celebrity or not, has a responsibility. Talked about Rihanna having a responsibility to be a role model, that she shouldn't make bad choices personally. That should be her choice. At what point does any celebrity have a responsibility not to influence people unduly? Because sadly, like it or not, we live in a society, in an MTV generation, call it what you want, but people will make a decision because some idol makes that decision, not because they believe in it, not because they've researched it. So if Madonna says vote for Obama, there might be people who would vote for Obama just because. Stacey Dash fans, she says vote for Romney just because, well, Stacey says I'm going to do it. What happened to actually going, interesting point, I'm going to research Mr. Romney, Mr. Obama, and make a decision for myself regardless of what Jeffrey Lampkin says?
I think we do that, though. And just
I
think about
disagree.
us.
That seems crazy to me, that
I don't
someone
think we
would
just-
make their decision to vote for president based on some
I think it happens all the
celebrity.
time.
I think that it's influenced. I think that, for example, think about us right now. Yeah, I heard so and so, for example, this red scarf right here. Someone may say, "Oh, that's the newest trend. That's the newest fad.
Right.
Everybody's doing it." What is the first thing we do? Social media. Type it in. So we do research to find out.
But the problem is that things like that are reinforced by the liberal media. They're reinforced by what's popular, not necessarily what's right or wrong.
Well, I think the responsibility comes back to the individual. We all have our own brains, and it's up to us to do that research and not to be easily influenced. That's why I'm still confused that there are so many undecided voters. Like,
Right?
Just a minute. How old are you? Just a window.
I'm in my 30s.
Okay, all right, 30s, right?
30s,
Okay, so we're all around the same age. Do you, when you make a decision, let's just call it, whether it's a local election for House of Representatives or the presidency, and it doesn't matter who, I don't want to know who you're voting for on Tuesday, but do you actually research, or do you make your decision based on sound bites in the media and what your friends talk about at dinner? Do you actually research for yourself and make an informed decision?
I research and I do listen to my friends. I like to have a good debate. I like to hear other people's points of view, and I like to give my point of view. I always like to play devil's advocate with my friends.
Right.
I have friends on all sides of the political spectrum, and it's nice when you can be adults and talk about things in a respectful way.
And agree to disagree?
And agree to disagree. But also, provide some insight on, well, yeah, that sounds good in theory, but what about this?
Now,
And that
do you
sort of thing.
research? Just
I do research, but I research differently. I don't sit at a computer and actually let me pull up this, for example.
Sure.
I'm going on the record right now and I'm going to say, and I've never said before, I always said I loved our president, but on Tuesday, I'm voting for Barack Obama. I'm voting for him based on things that I've seen him do.
Right.
But also I'm voting for him based on things that Mitt Romney has said himself that I don't agree with. I don't agree with Mitt Romney's foreign policy. I have an issue with that. I don't like the fact that he says he has binders full of women. I know there was other stuff that was said along with it.
Especially
but
when you're Mormon. Come on, you can't say
You
that.
listen to these things.
Right.
And so my thing is, you may say, Jeffrey, it wasn't the full statement of binders full of women. Binders full of women, when I've got binders, no, you don't refer, it's the way you refer to people. It's respect. So when you see all of those characteristics, then it kind of makes you say, this is what I'm going for. So I don't know, for example, Justin and Liz are both my friends. I don't know who they're voting for.
Right.
I have no idea, but I know who I vote for and why, and we can have discussions. And if they say that they're voting for someone else, they may say that they're voting for, they're going to write in Hugh Hefner for president. And if you want to invite in
choice.
Hugh and turn the White House into the Playboy Mansion, that is your
He'd
choice.
be downsizing, actually, I think.
Clearly,
Yeah,
I don't agree with it, but if that's what you want to do.
But do you think younger people now, and you may not have based knowledge, but do you think younger people are still doing, because I research too, and I certainly tend to lean one specific direction, but I'm very open to other ideas. I'm just not a straight ticket kind of guy. But again, like you,
I don't think nobody is straight ticket anymore.
That's based on their own statements, my own research, wherever my inbound information is. But do you think kids are more likely now to just do it because Stacey Dash is doing it, because Madonna does it? Or do you think an 18, 19, because you can vote at 18 even though you're not fully developed till you're 25, do you believe that an 18-year-old is actually going to take the time to really study the issues and make a decision that they think is best for this country, not because their favorite pop icon said it?
I think they make a decision based on sound bites. I don't think they make a decision.
And that's
based
the
on,
fundamental issue when
Right.
it goes back to celebrities who say, you know, whatever, I vote for Romney because, I vote for
No,
Obama because. That's a soundbite.
Soundbites based on the candidate.
Okay, so
I
you
don't
think
think
they actually, you think they don't care if you're biggest
You know how
Madonna
many
fan
people
in the
watch,
world?
for example, and people, and like, let's take the debate, Twitter, and that Twitter is young people. They watch, we sit here and watch it, and we listen to stuff. We read social media. We read Facebook.
Right.
You know, there's no way, like, I can't have there wasn't a debate where I didn't have friends immediately. I think some people were just posting on Facebook because they wanted everybody to like. That was the most likes you ever got. You know, now you know I'm serving you realness right now, clearly. So you put up, Mitt Romney just got served. Let everybody like, and then you feel like you popular for the night. But that's another story for another day. I'm serving all sorts of goodness, but I don't know.
I think you read things on Twitter too, and like if you're not actually watching the debate, you know, for whatever reason, you read something and the one-liner, and then that encourages you or inspires you to go do the research because you're like, I can't believe he said that, and you go look it up yourself. And then, I mean, I know I would. I can't speak for everybody. I think at 18, a lot of people are also more influenced by their parents than anything else.
Yeah, and
I was at 18.
Because generally, if you're 18 and this is your first election, you were in a household that voted a particular way. So, you know, your parents and your family are going to heavily influence, you know, what your decision is going to be when you go to the polls.
Yeah, I agree. Wow.
Either way, we're gonna have an election on
Exactly,
Tuesday.
on
Either
Tuesday.
way, ain't no stopping
It's coming.
it. So
it's coming. Above all, what I do encourage everyone to do, and I think all of us here, is go out and vote.
Yes.
Your vote is your voice, and it does make a difference. You believe that it doesn't, but it does make a difference. And I'll give you an example. President Barack Obama won the last North Carolina, which is a swing state. Normally, it goes Republican.
Right.
Last election, it went Democrat, but by only 535 votes. So you tell me that your vote doesn't matter.
One vote doesn't matter. You're right.
That one
You're
vote
right.
makes
You're
a
right.
difference.
You're
It
right.
totally makes a difference. So I just encourage everyone to go out and vote. This has been an awesome show.
It has been. It's been
This
great.
has been an awesome show. There was one more topic that I was thinking about that we should expound on, but my mind is
We'll
so
save it
bad,
for next time.
so I can't remember now. I'm done. That's all I have. Any final words as we're about to go? Any final words?
Get out there and vote.
That's it. That's the big one.
I love it.
Be an American.
I love it. Tyler, Justin, Liz, thank you so much for coming.
Man,
Thanks for staying with us and joining us on the Jeffrey Lampkin After the Show. I love it. On the Jeffrey Lampkin Show. Listen, remember, send in your children's tapes. We want to hear them sing the Jeffrey Lampkin theme song. Remember, we're going to give away a big party to whoever it is that we choose from the Jeffrey Lampkin staff as the winner. Also, go to www.jeffreylampkin.com or the Facebook page. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you need, what we can do for you, because that's what we do. But we love you so much, and thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, we bid.
Labs.
I love it. Have a good morning, everyone. Or afternoon. Or evening.
Just have a good
It's
time.
on the web. I love it. Have a good day.
Jeffrey Lampkin. Somebody turn the lamp on.